Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're going to be harvesting what's left of my cabbage, and we're going to be doing some work down in the pumpkin patch because my pumpkin is growing. Now we might get caught in some rain today because they are calling for a couple thunderstorms to roll through here, and one is expected to show up here soon. It is pretty calm right now, so we'll see what happens. It might actually go north of us. Huh, ducks? I see ya. You guys got the best setup. We're still getting nice blooms off the hostas, and the sunflowers are now opened up and they're looking gorgeous. I did plan on moving those, but I never got the time, but I am liking the way they're looking this year. We got some multi-headed ones, so they're all facing in every direction and they look good from all angles. We also have the gladiola coming into bloom right now, right in front of them, and the red, the purple, and the yellows are looking good. I probably should get some bamboo stakes on those stalks before the wind comes though. They might get some wind blockage from the sunflowers. But we gotta work down in the vegetable garden today. Pop. Still have some blooms over here. Gorgeous dark red lily. Still hanging in there. Even one more to open up yet. It's even getting deeper red. Pop. We are getting hostas to bloom in here, but that's not the only purple. Look at this late lupin popping up. Gorgeous. I love me a lupin bloom. And the pollinators love it too. And just a quick peek around here, we're still getting some blooms going down the driveway line. The hostas, the daylilies, and the Shasta daisies. I think that turned out to be a gorgeous combination. A little baby turkey. I see ya. You're almost big enough to go to pasture. We'll get you moved out here as soon as we get the mower fixed. Pop. Let's head down to the pumpkin patch and the veggie garden and see what's going on down there. Things are looking a little bit better after we cleaned up last video. We got the stair pots planted, and we did some cleaning up around the pond bank and got some new petunias planted around the pineapple. They're starting to take, looking good. And I'm glad the ducks didn't eat them, because Ron keeps bringing his flock down here, and they have been nice enough to clean up the algae off my waterfalls. They've been doing a good amount of work in there. But he's also been running through my gardens here, and I was worried he's going to trample my petunias, but so far he's been running around them. Hi guys, not like you, just sit right inside my sedum. You birds. They sit right here in front of the waterfalls with a gorgeous view. Can't really blame them, but they are trampling my sedum a little bit. But I love having them down here at the pond. Fishies, they're helping you too. They've been cleaning up all the string algae in the pond. I don't have much at all in here anymore. And I do need to get some feed for the ducks, because the ducks actually come up here, they eat the feed, and then they rinse it off in the pond, and that feeds the fish too. So I've been saving on fish feed, and my fish keep getting bigger. You fish. We have Julius, Goldie Hawn, Dorothy, and Yang. We have 4 koi in here right now, and then a bunch of goldfish. And the goldfish are just common feeder goldfish I actually got for the largemouth bass in here. And these are the ones that survived and got bigger than the bass can eat. He might still get one here and there. But I do need to get some more feeder goldfish in here for the bass so he can pack on the pounds before fall. Pop, some more blooms over here. The hostas are blooming. I'm glad they popped up through this spiderwort. We have 2 hostas in here, and then the red gladiola too. Oh, it's leaning on the duck crate. We're getting some blooms out of these. And then the bed next to the patio here is looking good with all the red blooms coming up. These actually have some smaller blooms on them, probably because they're packed so tightly into this bed. But there should be some other colors in here if they survived. We have the yellow starting to bloom. Gorgeous. But I'm pretty sure I had white in this bed as well. It might not have made it through winter though. Some colors are hardier than others. Pop, we gotta go down to the vegetable garden. We're getting distracted. And if anybody is interested, I do have a website with nature-inspired designs on apparel and other things, and I do have an easily distracted by nature line of designs as well. This isn't in that line, but this is on the website for anybody who wants to enjoy nature. Oh, the geyser. Gorgeous. And I actually have been enjoying this view going up the side garden line. Look at all these blooms. We have the limelight hydrangeas coming into bloom, the bobo hydrangea, the butterfly bush. The crocosmia is looking gorgeous with that red. We have Shasta daisies popping up in there, hostas of white and purple. A couple more daisies back there, and then we have the liatris as well. The orange daylilies aren't giving up either. Everything's really tying together in the side garden. Pop, a beautiful vista. Now this isn't a garden tour, but it's hard not to tour the gardens whenever we're walking through and seeing all these blooms. We are getting some blooms out of the calla lilies, which is always good to see. Now this hibiscus is getting a lot bigger than it did last year, and it is taking over the gladiolas that we got planted in here around it. I did some weed whacking around here to clean up the edges, but I made sure not to cut down any of the gladiolas we had in there. They are young, so I'm not sure if they're going to bloom this year, but hopefully we can get them to survive winter and still get them established for next year. But around the corner here we have the pink yarrow blooming, and we also have the black tower elderberry. I'm glad to see this alive. We had a harsh winter and I wasn't sure if this was coming back. And hopefully we can get that to get bigger and actually put on some blooms. Look at that field of hostas back there. Just gorgeous coming into the gardens. We also have these calla lilies set up, and I was trying to get a stone bench put in here, but it's good to see the calla lilies are taking off. I might actually even have to take this clump out and move it over, because these are getting too big to even fit a bench between. And finishing the line over here is another clump of Shasta daisies. The pollinators are still coming to it, even though it's starting to fade. I tried to get some things cleaned up with the weed whacker. We're not getting the cut flower garden planted this year, but we do have some perennials in there still growing. We have a calla lily right here on the corner. And I'm just trying to keep the weeds down enough that we can keep the perennials alive. We also have an echinacea way down there on the end. And she's blooming. I know the pollinators are loving that. But it's a work in progress on the cut flower garden. Is it getting dark right now or what? Look at this shelf of cloud just covering us. Pup, we're probably gonna get wet out here. We gotta get inside. Inside the vegetable garden, we're getting a beautiful entrance because we have this field of hostas, just gorgeous purple blooms. And then we have a nice accent with the calla lilies blooming right in front of them, kind of getting blown over. I don't mind them taking over the pathway and making it a little bit more natural curves. A couple more calla lilies that actually popped up volunteer style outside of the pollinator ring here, but this is a gorgeous bloom. One of the best gladiolas that we have. Gorgeous. It's got the nice pink, the yellow, and the white in there. But we do have a white gladiola and a pink gladiola over here, and these are looking good too. They're actually hardy gladiolas, so they actually survive all winter long, and I don't have to dig these ones up, which is really nice, not only because it's less work in the fall and the spring, but it's also a nice stronger plant here as it grows. But we have another color too. We're getting a hot pink down here. This one's going to be opening up soon. Hopefully it doesn't get blown over by this storm. Pup. We might get some heavy rain and winds, but it's not supposed to last long. Oh, it's starting, Pup. We're getting some sprinkles. We'll see how long oh, wait, it looks like a lot of rain behind the barn. It might be coming. The wind's starting to pick up. We do still have some heads of cabbage here. Oh, Pup, come on. I hear it hitting the roofs. Come on, Pup, it's hitting the metal roof. Here. Run, ducklings. There it is. Ducks don't even mind. Might get a good garden rain, as long as the wind stays down. I'll take the water, we need the water. Birds. You gotta look into the rain. There you go. You ducks. What are the adult birds doing? You gotta face the rain. Alright, well this looks good. I can take a garden rain, then we can go out there and work. This should really cool things off too. Pup, you almost got wet. This shouldn't be long. We'll get right back out there. What do you think, ducklings? The storm pass? You eating my hosta again? You birds. All right, we'll get back to work then. The forecast says another round might come through a little bit later. Oh, fishies. What's going on? All right, we have things to do. Gorgeous. That's who's getting me. Big old slug. That's a gorgeous cabbage. These are big. They had a bigger spread of leaves, so that makes sense to have a bigger head. No good. You want a solid stock. Still might have rod in it though. Yeah, that's a pink cabbage. Send that to the barn. I was hoping that one was still going to be good. I think it's too far gone. Alright, we have some for the animals up at the barn and we have some for us. Most of these look pretty good. Now we did lose some in the bed to bugs and rot. Pape, if you get too close to Dee Dee, keep it moving. But most of these in here are looking good. I am going to soak them in some salt water, see if we can get more of the bugs to come out of them before we do any work with them. Because for about the past month, I have not used any sprays. So these are clean of sprays, but they are definitely dirty with bugs. Pop, you get in an argument with Dabbles. You got too close to his duck. So I'm going to take these up and I'm going to get them soaked in some salt water for a while and see if we can get some of the bugs to come out of them before we put them up in the fridge. And we can share some of these with the animals. All right, let's get these soaking in some salt water and then we'll come down and work in the pumpkin patch.
That's a big bird pup. Huh. I hear you, bud.
Huh, pup, there's a lot of pumpkin plant here, but I think we have everything organized for tonight. Right now I have 3 pumpkins pollinated, and I'm hoping they're all still growing. We have this one down here that I'm hoping is going to be my big pumpkin. This one is positioned the best to grow the biggest. I don't know if that one's fully pollinated yet though, so we'll see how that one turns out. I did take a measurement on the big one over here, and we are estimating this one to be about 142 pounds. Look at the size on this pumpkin. Now she is looking gorgeous, but I am fearing that she might go soft on me. To grow a big pumpkin, you need to pump a lot of nutrients into her, and I don't think I've been getting enough here with the rain. Huh, pup, so we need to pump some more fertilizer into this pumpkin. Whenever she starts putting on some large fruit, she needs a lot of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. And unfortunately, I haven't got a sand bed underneath this pumpkin yet, and I really should have done that before it started getting big. We don't want a slug getting underneath her. And we do have some fruit flies flying around here, which is not a good sign. I'm not going to cut her off until I know she's soft. It still looks like she's growing in here, and I don't feel any major soft spots yet. So I'm going to try and get some fertilizer, CalMag, and everything in here. This might be a soft spot. I'm just worried about how light it is. A rot spot's going to turn white first, so I'm just a little bit worried here. But I did get the vine all freed up around it. I got the leaves cut away from it so they're not rubbing and getting all scratched up, because pumpkin leaves do have little pricks on the side of them. And they will scratch the soft skin of a pumpkin. They will scratch your arms too. But I did everything I can for this big pumpkin. Now I just need to get some fertilizer in the plant and hope for the best. She's still looking pretty green and healthy, but I also want to get this other one set in place as a backup just in case we have something go wrong with this one. Pup, hold on. I know it's dinner time. I'm almost done. You pretty pup. Now I did have to cut some of the ends here to free it up from the fence and expand the rabbit fencing. And right now I still have a gap over there because my fence is completely stretched out. So I need to get another piece of fence, if I have one, to stretch across that gap so Peter doesn't get in here and start chewing on my pumpkin. I am going to cover it back up with some pillowcases here so we can keep the sun off of her. You want to keep the sun off the skin of the pumpkin so you can keep it nice and supple so it can stretch the furthest. But these leaves are getting pretty tall. We're looking probably about 3 feet, maybe even 40 inches here for some of these leaves. Now to measure for the size of the pumpkin, you need to take 3 measurements. You're going to go saddle from side to side, and then you're going to go front to back with a blossom end to stem. And then you also need the circumference at the widest point. And I ended up getting 55 inches around the sides, 52 inches blossom end tip to stem, and then my tape measure ended at 60 inches, but I think the circumference was about 75. So this is the biggest pumpkin I've ever grown in my patch before. The one I had before that actually blew up, I taped at 120 pounds, so hopefully we can get this one a little bit bigger. It's already sitting at 142 pounds estimated, so we'll see how big we can get her. Even if this one fails, it's still going to be a great treat for the pigs. And the other animals on the homestead, because this is already a lot of pumpkin. Pop. I know, we're almost done. And now if you're curious about this third pumpkin, I figured since this was growing like it was, and I already had to cut the end off of it to free it from the fence, I had a lot of vine here to play with. So I got some sawhorses out and I put it across the sawhorses because I'm going to try and get a Cinderella pumpkin. And to get a Cinderella pumpkin, you actually want to dangle the thing so you can get the stem right on top and have it sit perfectly. So we'll see what we can do with this one. It actually has to take before we can actually start shaping it. But I've done all I can do for tonight. Hopefully these pumpkins continue to grow. Pop. And I have the other cabbages in the salt water right now. I've already picked some slugs off and gave them to the ducklings. We have what, 6, 7 cabbages right here that we're gonna be giving to the birds. And I also can give them some of these leaves too, see if they want to snack on those. But we did plant 36 cabbages and I have 18 sitting in the salt water right now. I'm gonna pull those out, try and get all the bugs that I can find off of them. Then we're gonna be putting them in the cooler until I can actually start processing them into sauerkraut, which I need to try and do soon. And if any of them look too bad, I can always give them to the animals. There's no waste here in the gardens. And we definitely don't have time tonight, but these potatoes are gonna need harvested here soon too. They're looking ready. A quick peek at the backups right now. We don't have any pumpkins set on these, but the plants are still growing here. I think this might actually be the first pumpkin set if it's taking. It's growing in here. I'm gonna have to freeze, oh, it might feel a little soft. We'll see what happens. This one looks like it's just starting. Oh, this one's looking better though. Might have got a bee to pollinate this one. We at least have the backup still growing though. We don't have a pumpkin set yet though. Now over here was the more healthy backup plant, and it does look like there's a pumpkin on the end here. I'm just letting these ones grow everything they can for decoration and just so I have a finished pumpkin. Especially when the pigs are real big in the fall, getting close to Halloween, I like giving them a pumpkin to chew on too. We're getting some to get started here. Hopefully the bees are pollinating these. We'll just see what we can get. The other two are real small, and I think the bugs actually got to this one. She's not looking too good. Now it does look like the last one over here is still alive, so we have a chance. Pop. I'm not actually looking for any particular size this year. I just want to get a finished pumpkin. We're setting the bar low this year. Let's see if we can get over it. Pop. I think dinner's ready. All right, well that's going to be all for this one. If you want to keep following along with everything going on here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see Lift Your Head Up, me and Echo, on the next one. Thanks for watching. What do you smell like that?